Our first section is digital transformation in leadership. We'll be looking at it from two dimensions. First, we'll talk about the broad scope of digital transformation and how it has revolutionized the way we work, from large-scale strategic imperatives to everyday tasks. Second, we'll explain what digital transformation actually means, employing a digital maturity model to articulate the different ways organizations adopt technology and for what purpose. People have characterized digital transformation as the third industrial revolution. This is due in large part to the disruptive impact it's having on our economy, on the way we work on a global basis, and its influence on society itself. This impact is very similar in scope and scale as the first two industrial revolutions. Now, I'm not going to turn this into a history lesson, but taking a moment to put digital transformation in historical context will help us understand the nature of the revolutionary changes we're experiencing and hopefully craft an appropriate response. In the first industrial revolution, our forebears moved off the farms and an agrarian-based lifestyle into a more industrialized economy. Beginning in the middle of the 18th century and lasting into the middle of the 19th, this transition included a shift from hand production methods to machines, the increasing use of steam power and water power, and the rise of the mechanized factory system. It brought about dramatic changes in business and society and was driven as much by technical innovation as anything else. The second revolution picked up where the first revolution ended and lasted until the early 1900s. This second tectonic shift was a phase of rapid industrialization accompanied by the building out of a far-reaching and enabling infrastructure. Within a few short decades, electricity, water, telegraph, telephone, oil and gas, railroads, and road systems were in place across Europe and North America. These changes enabled the creation of large-scale industrial enterprises and the advent of mass production and distribution. Another wave of economic and societal change driven by innovation followed, and our organizations, our society, the work, all were significantly changed. Similarly, we are now experiencing a third digital industrial revolution that is being driven by an advancing technology that permeates just about every aspect of our economy and our lives. The reason it really matters to us as leaders is that there is no hiding from it. We need to lean into it and accept that the very nature of how business is conducted has been disrupted and will continue to be transformed. We need to figure out how to deal with it now and into the future. Or we will go the way of the gentleman farmer, typewriter manufacturers, encyclopedia salespeople, or video rental stores, to name but a few historical artifacts. This model also points out that as leaders, we need to understand that these changes have a significant impact on the way we organize our resources, the way we run our companies, and structure our operations. Each revolution has forced a re-examination, if not reinvention, of organization structure and behavior. The whole field of professional management came about as a result of the previous industrial revolutions. The point is that there are such significant forces at work that cannot be ignored. The ability to adapt to a shifting context has become a core competence and integral aspect of successful leaders in the digital economy. This radical disruption has permeated just about every aspect of organizational behavior and is truly revolutionizing the way we work. As this graphic indicates, we are in the midst of a transition, a journey from one kind of organizational model to another. Companies are moving away from traditional hierarchies and centralized command and control cultures to a world that depends on teams collaborating and where decision-making is distributed out to the edges of the organization, closer to the customer and where the action is. The transformation has occurred while companies were once vertically integrated in all aspects of their supply chain. Most are now looking to build integrated ecosystems and partnerships with whomever has the expertise to help, inside or out of the organization. The leader was formerly viewed as the primary source of power. Everything needed to flow through him or her. But now, however, leadership at every level is the norm in order to accommodate the speed, complexity, and localized nature of the work. All of these are points on a continuum for us as leaders to decide where we sit, Where have we been transformed or transforming or need to transform, and make the decision if we need to make any adjustments to the way we operate? The hard reality is that we are already swimming in the water. We're already enmeshed in a digital world that permeates just about every aspect of our lives. To make the point, let's take a moment to complete an inventory of all the digital technology that you use, personally or professionally. By completing the worksheet in the workbook, it should illustrate not only how pervasive tech is in our lives, but also how much we depend on technology in matters both big and small. After you've completed the exercise, rejoin us and we'll move forward.